Hey everybody, today we're going to be doing an overview and installation of FocusAttack.com's breakout board package for the Brook PS3, PS4 breakout board by IST. This is a simple solution for wiring up your custom fight stick using only one tool. All you need in addition to this package is a fight stick enclosure, buttons, joystick, and screwdriver to make your fight stick PS3, PS4, and PC capable. Find a link to this product in the description. Let's take a look at what you get in the box. First of all, you get the breakout board itself. The Brook board comes soldered directly to the IST PCB. The IST board has all the terminals necessary for the connections we will make to the buttons and joystick. It also has a USB Type-B connector to use with the included cable to run to your gaming machine of choice. There's also connections for a full touchpad setup for further expandability, or the option to just wire up the touchpad button with the included cable. Please see the wiring diagram linked in the description for more information on specific connections. Let's look at the rest of the package. Like I mentioned before, you get a USB cable. This cable is 3 meters long, or just a bit longer than 9.8 feet. You get a 5-pin wiring harness for using a joystick with a 5-pin connection. You get an additional joystick wiring harness for wiring up joysticks using 0.17-inch terminals. This includes a daisy chain necessary for making all your ground connections. You get a color-coded harness for wiring up all your buttons, trigger buttons, as well as home, share, and options. This also includes a daisy chain for using with 0.110-inch quick disconnects. Lastly, you get 5 connectors with quick disconnects for individually wiring up touchpad buttons, L3, R3, turbo, or turbo LED. Let's get started with the install. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my color-coded wiring harness for all the buttons, and I'm going to run my ground loop first. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Alright, I'm going to make the first connection here on this bottom button here. And let's just go all through these suckers. This ground loop, doesn't really matter where it goes. It just has to be connected to all of the buttons. Uh-oh. This joystick's particularly small, so I'm going to be taking these buttons out to make these buttons fit first. This is the problem with the basically a really thin profile joystick case I have here. But let's go ahead and pull this sucker out. Pop a button in it. And I'm going to leave it out because I'm going to come back to it with signal wire. Excuse me. And that's everything there. I can go ahead and plug this button in here last. This is my home button. And now we got signal to all. We have ground signal to all the buttons, right? So now we want to get the rest of our harness and get ready for wiring up the buttons. Go ahead and look at your wiring diagram for this one. This one does matter where you are going to plug everything in. So I'm going to go get mine and I'll be right back. Alright, so I found my wiring diagram. I can see that these are going to be the 6 connections I'm going to use for my face buttons. These additional 2 would be 4 kick and 4 punch, but I'm not using this in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and let those be out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the end of this harness here. Starting with the orange. You got 3 kick. We got 3 punch on gray. You got this red connector is 2 kick. We got this green connector, it's 2 punch. Got this blue connector, is 1 kick. And we got this yellow connector, it's 1 punch. Simple as that. So now I take these out of the way. I'm not going to be using them. I have 3 signal wires left. So I know from looking at my wiring diagram that purple is options. So I'm going to go ahead and put that here. Of course, this is all personal preference and how you want to do it. I just like to have it towards the outside of the joystick. Slide this down. Scoot that over. Pop that sucker back in. And we know that the white one here at the top is share, or select on a PC, or select on a PS3 as well. Put that in there. And this last red one here, closest to the ground, is your home. So I'm going to go ahead and send that on its own way. So now I have this. I got 2 extra wires here. I'm going to put that to the side. And let's get ready to wire up our joystick. Basically, if you have a Sanwa joystick, you want to look at this cable here. One side's printed, one side's not, right? So the side that's printed is going to be facing you while you're building it, or towards the bottom of the joystick for a Sanwa. If you have a Seimitsu, flip it around. So let's go ahead and flip this the right way for this joystick. You also have to keep in mind when you're building this, your PCB harness should be facing towards the buttons, right? That's just so that when we wire this up to the PCB, all the direction is going to be the right way. So plug that in, and that's ready to go. So that's basically all our connections we need inside our joystick. Scoot these out of the way a little bit. This can only go one way into this PCB. So this is, we're going to mark our directions here. So this one's our directions. That's where we're going to plug into. This can only go one way because you see the teeth on here. See those little teeth there? I'm going to plug into that. This guy here. See the little teeth on there? I'm going to plug into it that way. Right? So now we have our connections. Every connection is made now except for the USB, right? So now we can take our USB cable. Some cases you're going to have a Joystick pass-through with a shorter USB that's going to go here. In this case, I'm just using this notch here, and I'm going to run it straight out. So I can go ahead and plug it straight into the USB. I'm going to try to avoid hitting the bottom of the joystick that's not in right now. So let's go to plug in. And this is going to help me decide where I'm going to place my PCB. I think I'm going to put it all the way up to that side. It's all going to be all the way in the corner. I'm going to have this cable coming out here. I'll be right back. I'm going to do a little bit of cable management. Going to use some zip ties to crimp things up here, or not crimp things up, I should say, just clean things up a little bit. And I'll be right back. Alright, there you go, guys. We got everything cable managed. Everything's nice and tight to the board now. I shortened up this cable. I tied all these cables into itself and to the board here. These are cable tied to each other. So now we're ready to put the bottom back on. Joystick's also back in the case. Let's go ahead and do that. Well, there you go, full install, and all I needed was a screwdriver. You can find this breakout board package as well as all the buttons, joysticks, and other accessories at focusattack.com. Click the link in the description. Let's go ahead and flip this over. Take a look. Cable nice and neat. Polish up. And she's ready to go. I already took the liberty of testing this baby out. Went through the challenge mode on Street Fighter V. Everything's working perfectly. Check out the links in the description for more details on everything you need. Have a great one. We'll see you on the next one.